So, ordinarily, videos on this channel are designed to inform you of some kind of weird, freaky stuff that happened in the past, or show off some technological phenomena or janky invention. This is going to be something of a departure from the typical format, because this is going to be just actual normal advice. So, like packing a parachute, emergency preparedness is something that's significantly easier to do in advance. So this is going to be a list of all the items that it's useful to have in your vehicle. Now, because having a million individual objects in your car just loose, kicking around, is a surefire way to not really be able to easily transfer them to a different vehicle or place, or find them when you need them, one of the major criteria that I was going for here was that it all needs to fit in this medium-sized knockoff Harbor Freight Pelican case that I had. So I only need to remember the location of one thing. So, I guess let's start digging through this. Let's start with medical stuff. Alright, so, number one, just a regular portable first aid kit. This is one of the cheap Walmart ones. This is sufficient for most typical cuts and scrapes, that sort of thing. You know what's in here. Now, in addition to that, I have added this, which is pretty much the bag that you grab for the, more serious ouchies. It's got chest seals, it's got a compression wrap, it's got gauze, it's got Tegaderm for burns, or anything else where, you don't want your skin to be growing into something. You want it to be kind of contained. So something I should mention is that I used to have tampons in here because I fell for the using tampons to plug a gunshot wound meme. Do not do that. Use regular medical gauze. It is a different material. It is cheaper than tampons. Alright, next up, a flask of high-proof alcohol. This is 100 proof vodka, but Everclear works even better. I put this in the medical category, but really it's kind of a general purpose utility. You can use it as an antiseptic, a fire starter. You can drink it to help restore blood flow to extremities in the cold, or if you get bored while driving, you name it. What else? A sprained ankle wrap, whatever. Surprisingly common. Caffeinated protein goop pouches. They have caffeine, they have amino acids, they have sodium, they're salted caramel flavored. They take up less room than protein bars, but they provide energy. Glucose chews. They're basically the same without the caffeine, but because they're glucose-based, they are great for if you have like a low blood sugar episode. Wet wipes. Unless you are an acolyte of G.G. Allen, you will want these. Alright, moving on to technology. These next two are important. Well, I guess kind of three, because they're in a Faraday bag, which is one of those things that's like, may as well. Maybe you're at the store and want to steal stuff. Anyways, first up is a Baofeng UV5R portable ham radio. These things are like $20. Do not play with these if you do not have a ham radio license. These are not toys. They are not walkie-talkies. Do not play with them. Anyways, again, you will get in trouble if you misuse this. However, I would absolutely take an FCC fine if the alternative is the slow, thirsty game over. Next up. This one is useful enough that you could almost swap it out for everything but like the bleed supplies and thermal blankets if you're somewhere cold and be fine. This is a global satellite phone. What's the benefit? It is a global satellite phone. Where do you have service? The globe. Everywhere on Earth we are not at war with. Or Cuba. Because of beef over Fidel Castro not getting got. So what is the downside? These are not exactly cost effective. If it doesn't cost about $1,000 and then about $100 a month thereafter for maybe 30 minutes of talk time, it is not a global sat phone. Moving on to survival. Thermal blankets. Wherever you are, does it get cold at any part of the year? Bring thermal blankets. They take up basically no room. They cost about $5. What about if you live in the desert? You live in the desert, dipshit. Night gets cold. What if you live in the tropics? Well, they're waterproof. They're cheaper than ponchos. They are made out of like kind of a sunship bag material, so they're not really stealthy. but they're reflective. Just shut up. Put it in there anyways. Speaking of, because a lot of search and rescue these days is done with like thermal vision, a heat source is a good idea. So probably bring like a little heat light or something, because if you're under a thermal blanket, they won't be able to see you. Oh, actually, wait, that is another reason to bring a thermal blanket, in case you wind up in Alien vs. Predator. Multi-tool. I use a Gerber MP600. You can open it one-handed. It looks cool. It's actually super cheap if you get a surplus one on eBay. If I stop right here, here's what's going to happen. You're going to buy one of these, you're going to put it in your car. A month later, you're going to need a screwdriver because you lost all your screwdrivers. You're going to remember, oh, I've got a multi-tool in my car. Surely there's no situation I would need that. That's more critical than adjusting the height of this monitor arm. And then you go get the multi-tool, and then you adjust your monitor arm and instantly lose it. So my advice is if you buy one, buy two, and tie a wire or a piece of fishing line to your desk, and then tie the other end to this little lanyard hole, and that way you'll always know where one of these is, and then you can leave the other one in the car, and leave it for real. Okay, what else? Fixed blade knife. This one is honestly near the top of the list of stuff to get rid of first. Like, yeah, cut small trees, yeah, for self-defense, but if you're relying on a knife fight for self-defense, something has already gone horribly awry, and if you're cutting down trees to make a shelter, like, this isn't a bushcraft camping kit, this is an emergency kit for when you don't want to be camping. With that said, the FM78 is fantastic. You can find them about 50 bucks. They are perfectly balanced if you want to get good at throwing them. Highly recommend them. Oh man, I'm probably going to have to bleep the name of the manufacturer so I don't get... So I'm going to whistle past a graveyard here. This one, warm fuzzy blanket, stuffed animals, new with tags, vacuum sealed. I like to imagine this is what happens inside of a Pokeball. But for real though, this is genuinely really important. Giving a kid a new, fresh, clean blanket and a stuffed animal following a traumatic event, whether it be they saw their siblings eaten by Bigfoot, or you ran over their parents, it genuinely reduces lifetime prevalence and severity of PTSD by something like 90%. So, jokes aside, this saves someone's life just as much as a chest steel does, and should be valued as such. Vacuum sealing them makes them take up almost no room, keeps them clean and fresh. There's no reason not to include this in an emergency kit outside of, you know, like, fuck them kids. Okay, moving on to the odds and ends section. 2 9-volt lithium batteries. Why lithium? Well, for starters, because they officially last for 10 years and realistically last for 20 to 30. And if you ever need a time-delayed fire starter, there's an Easter egg mode with these that is unlocked by snapping the pair together like Legos. Do not do this inside. Lithium smoke is not good for you. Oh, also, handy tip. You can tell if a 9-volt battery is lithium because the bottom is silver. Yeah. Instead of like the black plastic matte thing, which means it's alkaline. Bottle rockets. Multiple purposes. They take up significantly less space than a flare gun. They're not technically a weapon, so if you live in some totalitarian hellhole like England or New Jersey, you're not going to get sent to the gulag. They can be used if you need to signal your location, if you need to scare off animals, if you get bored while driving, you name it. Let's see. Flashlight. Dark, make, see hard. Headlamp. It's a headlamp. Dark, make, see hard, one hand, heart hold, two hand, give me orange. Lighter. Makes fire. And ferrocerium rod. Make fire the other way. It's magnesium, it burns. What else? Tape. Sticky. Waterproof field notes. These are great because this already has notes in it, so these are waterproof. They are actually genuinely waterproof. They work very well with something like this, a deep reach pencil. This is basically kind of like a cross between a mechanical pencil and a crayon, but yeah, works great for, you know, you know, some pens are annoying to write on waterproof paper with, but it writes smoothly. You can write on wood with this, you can write on rocks, all kinds of stuff. I mentioned the tape. I should have included the super glue. I need to go replace that, actually. Super glue can also go in medical, but yeah, it's glue. You can glue cuts closed good. You can glue stuff closed good. Oh, and I just remembered. Water. A case of water. Obviously. Ouch. Woo. A case of water should obviously be in your car. Everyone should have that. I did not include water purification tablets because, again, this isn't camping. You should have water in your car. No reason not to.